Hi everyone, my name is JJ and I work for a company called Sphere, and this talk is an overview of some of the things that we do with Perl and how Perl has enabled us to deliver solutions for our clients. A little bit about the start. We are an open source development company based in the UK. Been around for over 20 years, and what we do is we provide open source business systems to a variety of different companies, from small companies right up to large national chains in the UK. I've got the slide there, solutions, not code. What we sort of focus on is solving clients' business problems. So the sort of person who comes up to us says, you know, we need a system to solve this issue in our business, as opposed to we need help developing this catalyst application. Our customers are much more around what can we do for them to help their business. They don't really care that much about the technology side. And the core of things we do is really this bespoke software development. Generally, some, as I said, back office business systems. We do some front-end e-commerce work as well, and internet applications. And our core tool set is Perl, and Moose, and Catalyst, and Divi's Class, and C++, and Test More, and a whole host of other C++ modules. The example I'm going to talk about is we were recently commissioned to develop an intranet system for a national chain of car dealerships in the UK. And this project has a huge feature set, all the different business domains within the company, HR, customer service, finance, all the rest of it. They all wanted specific applications on the intranet for their part of the company. And we knew that in the future, this client was planning to eventually move all of their back office systems into the intranet front end. So it's going to be a very large, expensive job. So this requirement gave us two very strong architectural considerations to look at. First of all, the system's got to be very, very extensible. We knew right from the start that it was going to be around for many years, and they would always be asking us for new features to be added to applications. So the code base had to be right from the start very easy for us to extend in the future, which directly leads into maintainability. So as they're adding things, they're also going to be changing things as well, changing processes, that sort of stuff. So we decided from the start that the whole design has to be very, very modular, so that we can have different developers working on different sections of the code base, very much independently from each other, and also deploying those new features, new applications, independently of the point system. Catalyst is obviously our tool of choice for any web-based systems. But we didn't want to just do a Catalyst application and say, right, there it is, it's one monolithic system. To get the extensibility, maintainability requirements, we decided that the application had to be pluggable. So we wanted to start off with a base Catalyst application, which would handle all of the common functions like authentication, access control, have a standard set of views that all the other components can use, so things like PDF view, Facebook view, Microsoft Excel view, and so on. And as well, this base application needed to bring with it a standardized set of UI components. So think really like base design and a custom widget set. So that any developer writing a new plugin for this system can use a standard set of widgets, and every application has the same look and feel. So from the customer's point of view, even though we're developing it as lots of separate parts, it all comes together as a whole. And if somebody knows how to use one application, they can use the rest because they all look and feel the same. So the application plugins are all written as Catalyst X components, which then feed into the main system. So to achieve this, we found we did lots of searching around on CPAP, and first of all evaluating are there any best practices for doing this sort of architecture. And we found a couple of very useful modules on CPAP that pretty much did 90% of what we needed. The first of those is Catalyst X App Builder. What Catalyst X App Builder does is lets you write your Catalyst configuration in Perl code, as opposed to having a myapp.conf file, which you can still have as well, but the core of the config, listing all the plugins and everything, is essentially a standalone Perl module builder.pl. And doing the configuration this way as a module means that you can use inheritance. So you can start off with one app, and then in the second app, just do extends the first one, and in the next one extends the second one, and so on. So you can build up a large application in a number of layers. So I have one application that deals with, say, access control and authentication, as an example. And then that single application can be reused multiple times. The other thing that Catalyst App Builder also gives you is it handles inheritance paths for all of the other Catalyst components that you're using. So, for example, your view, if you're using a template toolkit view, as I'm sure people will be, when you've extended template applications, you're going to end up with a number of different root templates directories. You're going to end up with a number of root static directories, and so on. So App Builder extends Catalyst and gives us this inherited path to method, which you can use that in the configuration. So as we've got here, self-inherited path to root templates returns a list of all of the possible root template directories, however you constructed your main application. The next part of the chain is Catalyst X Inject Components. Inject Components is really the core of making a Catalyst application pluggable. It lets you define in a Catalyst X module controllers, models, any other components, and then essentially push those into another running Catalyst application. So one side can bring in controllers from one set of modules, view from another one, and then you might have all your models, again, completely standalone Perl modules that can be developed and maintained independently. You can see on the sample code here from the Catalyst Inject Component documentation. What we're doing here is, after setup components, we are going to inject into our main application the component my other controller as a new name. So that's quite a powerful tool as well, in that you can build all of your plugin components using the standard naming convention, and then completely change that naming convention when they're brought into the main app to give different URL paths and so on. To actually build the components themselves, so you've got something to inject. there's another distribution on cPanel called Catalyst X Starter. This was originally a fork of module starter that I believe Thomas Jon Allen put together. This bit, Catalyst X Starter, builds you a skeleton component. So you just type Catalyst Starter, my component name, and it builds sample controller, sample model, and everything like that you need to get going. Catalyst Starter is also it's quite easy to customize yourself. So if you want to have certain pieces of boilerplate code in all of your models or in all of your controllers, it's very easy just to edit the templates that Catalyst Starter is to use your own stuff there. So once we've got all of our application built as all of these numerous separate components, the next challenge is how to actually deploy that and manage the whole installation process. As our general standard is, we typically use Debian as our base OS, and for all projects, at the start of the project, we set up 3 environments: development, staging, production. As I'm not sure everyone's used to that kind of environment. One thing we always do is compile our own Perl source code. We've had issues in the past where trying to use the system Perl, although on one hand you can install modules from system packages quite easily, system packages very often are slow to synchronize up with the actual current versions of the cPanel, and especially if we did a bit of work with the author of Catalyst X App Builder to extend some new features and fix some bugs and things like that. So while we were doing that, new versions of App Builder were coming out every few days, and the OS packaging is never going to keep up with that. So we take the attitude that the system Perl, that belongs to the OS, leave it alone for whatever the OS functions are. Custom Perl, currently using 5.10.1 for our own applications. And we have a rule. The first rule of Installation Club is that development, obviously just for development, staging and production we both treat as live. And everything that goes on to staging and the production machine has to be packaged as a Perl module in the normal cPanel style. So we keep all of our code to the normal module layout, dependencies in main file, test.t directory, documented as pod. Very importantly, whenever we do a new release of the module, always put the version number. Doesn't matter what it is as long as it goes up every time. This means that it becomes very easy to regress a change to a previous release. So if you do deploy something and it goes wrong, you don't have to fiddle around with regressive changes in version control at that point. You can just immediately reinstall the previous version and restore service to the customer very quickly. And another advantage we found in doing this is that because obviously cPanel modules are platform independent. So if we suddenly get a customer, as we have in the past, who has an internal standard, say using Red Hat Linux as opposed to Debian, we don't have to rebuild packages, we can install exactly the same stuff on their system.